Welcome to Unsolved Skies, the podcast that delves into aviation mysteries and the stories behind them. Today we're focusing on a tragic incident from October 1, 1976, involving a U.S. Air Force reconnaissance jet. Joining me is aviation historian and researcher Dr. Eleanor Vance. Eleanor, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. This is a compelling, albeit somber case.
Let's start with the aircraft itself. What was the McDonnell Douglas RF-4C Phantom II, and what was its role?
The F-4 Phantom II was truly an iconic aircraft, a versatile twin-engine supersonic jet used extensively during the Vietnam War for air superiority and ground attack. The specific variant involved in this crash was the RF-4C, which was the reconnaissance version. It was designed to carry various camera systems in its nose for photographic missions, day or night, at both high and low altitudes. Unlike its fighter counterparts, it typically lacked offensive armament, though some were later fitted with Sidewinder missiles for self-defense. The Air Force accepted nearly 500 of these aircraft, with the first production model flying in May 1964.
So it was a specialized reconnaissance platform. Can you tell us about the specific incident on October 1, 1976?
Certainly. The aircraft was an RF-4C, serial number 660460. It was assigned to the 363rd Tactical Reconnaissance Wing and the 33rd Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron with the tail code JO. On that fateful day, it was on a routine low-level training flight, having departed from Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina.
And what happened? Where did it crash?
Air traffic controllers reported losing contact with the jet around 7:12 p.m. The crash site was in the Holston Mountains near Bristol, Tennessee. Reports place it about 13.2 miles from the Tri-Cities airport, or even 18.75 miles east, depending on the source. It impacted the mountain just short of the ridge of Holston Mountain, approximately 40 feet shy of the summit and very close to the Appalachian Trail.
That sounds like incredibly challenging terrain for low-level flight. What about the crew?
Tragically, both crew members, First Lieutenant Kurt Snurrer and Werner Michael Berger, were killed in the crash. It's notable that both pilots were German nationals. Shaw Air Force Base, where they originated, was a primary training base for German Luftwaffe RF-4E crews between 1972 and 1981, where they trained on the nearly identical RF-4C aircraft alongside American personnel.
Was there an official cause determined for this crash?
This is where the mystery deepens. While an investigation was confirmed to be underway shortly after the incident, declassified official accident investigation report explicitly stating the probable cause for RF-4C 660460 is not readily available in the provided information. This is a significant limitation in understanding the definitive why.
That's frustrating. Are there any clues or theories about what might have happened, even without an official report?
There are. An FAA officer in Atlanta stated there was no indication of trouble from the aircraft before radar contact was lost. However, this is directly contradicted by local eyewitness Estelle Jenkins, who claimed she heard a jet that sounded like it was in trouble just moments before a loud explosion. This discrepancy is crucial. The physical description of the crash, impacting the mountain just below a ridge during a low-level flight, strongly suggests a controlled flight into terrain, or CFIT accident. This is when an airworthy aircraft is inadvertently flown into the ground.
And were CFIT accidents common for military aircraft in that era?
Unfortunately, yes. General Air Force safety articles from the 1970s frequently discuss accidents where pilots failed to maintain VFR flight, pressed on until they were trapped in IFR conditions, and hit a hill buried in a cloud. Factors like lack of situational awareness and inadequate event proficiency were recurring issues in mishaps during that period, which saw an overall increase in the USFA accident rate. While we don't have specific weather data for this particular crash, the incident occurred at night, and adverse weather is a common factor in mountainous terrain accidents.
It sounds like Holston Mountain itself might be a factor. Has this area seen other aviation incidents?
Absolutely. The Holston Mountains have a tragic history of aircraft crashes, making the RF-4C incident part of a recurring pattern. A notable parallel is Southeast Airlines Flight 308, a Douglas DC-3A that crashed into the Holston Mountain Range on January 8, 1959, during a night approach to Tri-Cities Regional Airport, killing all 10 occupants. The probable cause was determined to be pilot failure to properly identify an intersection and continuing an ILS approach contrary to procedures, leading to a descent too low to clear the terrain, especially in light snow and fog. Other incidents include a Navy plane crash in 1958 or 1960 and a private plane crash in the late 60s or early 70s. This history underscores that the mountainous terrain, combined with operational factors, consistently posed significant aviation hazards in the area.
That truly is a somber history for that mountain. Is there any memorial or lasting impact from the RF-4C crash?
Yes, there is. An RF-4C Phantom jet crash site memorial is located on Panhandle Road in Elizabethan, Tennessee. It's described as a wooden marker that has degraded over time, situated at the base of one of the mountain's waterfalls. Physical remnants of the jet, including a large piece of the left wing and other fragments, can still be found scattered among the forest trees near the site. The enduring presence of the memorial and wreckage, along with detailed local recollections, shows that this incident left a profound and lasting impression on the community. Despite the violent nature of the event, some accounts describe feeling a solemn peace at the site where the remnants of the powerful jet now rest silently.
That's a powerful image. Eleanor, thank you for shedding light on this complex and tragic event.
My pleasure. It's important to remember these stories.
And thank you for listening to Unsolved Skies. Join us next time as we explore another chapter in aviation history.